Has Trump's next sinister war move just been leaked, with claims of a new assassination plot targeting Iran's remaining leadership now emerging from within Tehran itself? After the assassination of Ali Khamenei, does the United States now plan to target Iran's newly installed leadership even as this war continues to rage on? Could all the tension surrounding the Strait of Hormuz simply be an elaborate trap, as an Iranian lawmaker now reveals what he believes Trump is really planning behind the scenes? Fresh assassination fears have emerged within Tehran, even as tensions between the United States and Iran remain dangerously high in the aftermath of this war. An Iranian lawmaker claimed on July 25 that the United States may currently be plotting a fresh round of targeted assassinations against Iranian officials. This claim was made specifically by lawmaker Ahmad Bakhshayesh Ardestani during a detailed interview conducted with the ILNA news agency. The lawmaker suggested that Washington may be deliberately distracting Tehran with a series of new and highly visible military threats. Ardestani specifically claimed that ongoing tensions around the Strait of Hormuz and Mount Kolang could actually be part of this broader distraction strategy. The lawmaker also cast serious doubt on whether the United States would genuinely follow through with an actual ground invasion of Iran. Ahmad Bakhshayesh Ardestani said, and I quote, "Perhaps they are keeping us occupied with the Strait of Hormuz and Mount Kolang, Pickaxe Mountain, so they can once again assassinate another tier of our leaders and officials." Unquote. These remarks came amid separate reports circulating around Mojtaba Khamenei's own personal stance on Iran's broader nuclear policy direction. Mojtaba Khamenei is reportedly far more willing than his father to pursue a nuclear weapon, strengthening hardliners inside the regime. The assessment comes from US intelligence agencies and was highlighted in a New York Times report on Iran's post-Khamenei leadership. This marks a major shift in Washington's view of Iran's leadership following Ali Khamenei's death. New York Times reported, and I quote, "While Mojtaba Khamenei has not publicly called for Iran to build a nuclear weapon, US intelligence agencies believe he is more receptive than his father to developing one." Ali Khamenei had publicly maintained that nuclear weapons were forbidden under his religious fatwa. US officials cautioned that much of the intelligence predates the war and that Mojtaba Khamenei, who was reportedly injured during the conflict, has kept a low profile since taking power. Officials also said Iran has not resumed nuclear enrichment despite moving some equipment to the heavily fortified underground facility known as Pickaxe Mountain. Unquote. Amid daily US air and missile strikes on Iran, an Iranian general has lashed out at Washington over the types of weapons now being used, accusing the United States of escalating to its most extreme arsenals. The Iranian military spokesman claimed that the US has deployed weapons it had effectively stockpiled for hypothetical World War III, pointing to the combat debut of next-generation precision strike missiles and new combat drones as proof that Washington is dipping into its most advanced warfighting tools. General Sherkachi further argued that the US has used weapons against Iran that it had never previously employed in any war, highlighting systems like the precision strike missile and low-cost unmanned combat drones as unprecedented capabilities now being tested on Iranian soil.
Every weapon that had been tested in the world but never deployed in any war has been used against the Islamic Republic. Every piece of weaponry, every technology, every capability that had not been used even once in any war was deployed in the war against the Islamic Republic. Every capability, every weapon, every contingency that the Americans had planned and stockpiled for World War III, to engage with the world's major powers, all of it was brought to the field against the Islamic Republic, and all of it was used and deployed.
America's weapon stockpiles have been depleting rapidly over the course of the Iran war, thinning out key missiles and bombs that Washington had hoped to reserve for other major threats. Thousands of US munitions have been burned through, including long-range missiles, as the Pentagon sustains an almost nightly tempo of strikes against Iranian targets and air defenses. The Iranian general's remarks about World War III weapons came just a day before the US completed its 13th consecutive night of strikes, underscoring how relentless the campaign has become. The war is spreading to a second major shipping choke point as Houthi forces struck Saudi oil tankers in the Red Sea, opening a fresh front that threatens global trade routes. The Houthis' attack came after they imposed a blockade on Saudi ships in the Bab al-Mandeb Strait, signaling their intent to choke off access to key Red Sea lanes. The nearby Strait of Hormuz has been under constant strain since February 28, when the war began, with military tensions and naval standoffs becoming a near-daily feature. Commercial shipping through Hormuz has reopened and closed a handful of times, rising and falling with ceasefire talks, temporary understandings, and then their repeated failure. Strait of Hormuz disruption has led to global turmoil in oil and energy prices, driving up costs for consumers and fueling fears of a prolonged shock to the world economy. In response to the Houthi strike, Trump promised major military punishment for Iran and its allied Houthis, vowing that they would pay a very heavy price for attacking Saudi tankers. The US president said, and I quote, "A year ago the United States of America attacked, very powerfully, the Houthis, for their interference with commerce and trade, by shooting at ships. Since that time, and during our conflict with Iran, they have acted very responsibly. Unfortunately, now they are starting up again, shooting at 2 Saudi Arabian ships last night. Please let this truth serve to represent that if they do this again, the US will hold Iran responsible, in that the Houthis are a surrogate and or proxy of Iran, and major military punishment will be inflicted upon Iran and, of course, the Houthis themselves, who I am very disappointed with in that they have, until now, acted very professionally and smart. Thank you for your attention to this matter." Unquote. Iranian state TV on July 22 aired footage of warehouses filled with Arash drones that it said were used in strikes on US bases across the region. State television described the Arash drone as the Iranian army's steady workhorse, and claimed it had become a key weapon in attacks on US military targets. Iranian media claimed Arash kamikaze drones have been repeatedly used in recent operations targeting US military facilities across the Middle East. The Arash 2 is a one-way attack, or kamikaze, drone designed to destroy its target by crashing into it with an explosive payload. Iran says the drone is built for long-range precision strike missions, and can also be used to suppress enemy air defense systems. With a reported range of up to 2,000 kilometers, the Arash 2 is designed to strike strategic targets far beyond Iran's borders. The drone is intended to attack high-value military targets such as air bases, radar sites, command centers, and critical infrastructure. According to reported specifications, the Arash 2 carries an explosive warhead weighing around 150 kilograms, giving it significant destructive capability. The state TV broadcast described US forces as terrorists, and said the drone campaign was part of Iran's retaliation against American military operations. Iran has long promoted the Arash as a long-range kamikaze drone, designed for strategic missions and intended to strike targets at considerable distances. The Arash is widely marketed by Iran as one of its longest-range loitering munitions platforms, designed to travel extended distances before reaching its target. The broadcast came as Iran continued highlighting its expanding drone capabilities amid escalating military tensions with the United States.